Hi guys, Mike at Phase 1 DJ Store, how are you doing? Right, we've got an exciting bit of kit to show you today. The brand new, long awaited DJM 900 Nexus. Right, very excited about this product, can't wait to have a play with it myself. Got from Pioneer, we've got Rob, who's their latest product specialist. Is that what we're going to call you?
Yeah.
Product specialist? Yeah, Rob's going to take us through that and show us all the features of the Nexus. What we'll do is we're going to let you have a close-up of the item, let you have a quick look around it, and then, to be honest with you, the shop's open today, so we're going to nick off out the back, we're going to get some speakers hooked up, we're going to make some noise, and he's going to show me how to use this thing. Okay guys? One of the first things I noticed about this new mixer from Pioneer, it looks familiar, which is a good thing. Very, very similar in looks, and you expect everything is exactly where I expect to find it, because it's very similar in design layout to the DJM 800. Looks like we've got some new effects on this one as well, so I'm quite excited to hear what these are going to sound like. What we'll do is we'll come and let's have a look at the rear of the unit. We always like to have a look at the rear. Plenty of connectivity and a link. Very interested to see what that is. We've been chucked out of the shop, we've been chucked into the warehouse. It's because we're going to make too much noise and the shop's open, so we thought we'd bring you in here to my beautiful warehouse here at Phase 1. There's nothing beautiful about it. But anyway, back to business. What we're going to do here in this video, Rob from Pioneer is going to take us through step by step all the different features on the DJM 900. He's been showing me some things on it already, and I've been blown away. And to be honest with you, I'm glad he's demoing it, because man, this thing is vast. Right, so what we're going to do this video in bite-sized chunks. So we're going to do section by section. We'll talk about effects, talk about its connectivity, linking it up. We're going to talk about record box. We're going to talk about hooking it up with Tractor and your computer. So we're going to do it in sections at a time. Okay guys, I'm going to give you a roll.
I'm going to take you through the new DJM 900 Nexus, show you the new layout of the unit, and show you how to get the best results when creatively mixing. So the remixed and revised DJM 900 Nexus is the next in line in the DJM series. It's not replacing the DJM 800. There's going to be still 800s in production, but you're going to notice this is going to be probably the new club standard mixer over the next couple of months. So it's a 4-channel digital mixer, built-in 24-bit 96 kHz sound card, although the sound card has now been massively improved. I'm going to demo that later on. You can see from instantly looking at it, it's obvious where it's evolved from. It looks very similar to the 800. Everything is in pretty much the exact same place, so everything laid out in the standard ergonomic Pioneer style. We've got the remixed and remodeled beat effects section over on the right, which I'm going to demo in a minute, and we've also got our remixed and remodeled colour effects section over on the left. When you first step up to the mixer, the first thing you'll notice once you start use is the improvement on the faders. The crossfader is now a non-contact fader, resulting in better response, and the fader caps are now a P-lock mechanism, which stops the fader caps from coming off. Very useful for when DJing in nightclubs, and basically stopping previous DJs from ripping caps off, leaving you with just a small stalk to mix with. 3-band EQ on every channel, which is now also can be demoed some music, you can actually use them in standard EQ mode or in complete isolator mode as well by adjusting the EQ curve here to completely kill all frequencies. Looking at the effects section, the beat effects section over on the right, you can see when viewing the effects selection, we've got 5 brand new effects that have been brought onto the 900 Nexus. We've also got an additional X-Pad control, which is a touch responsive control, which can be used in a number of ways. On certain effects, it acts as an additional parameter, which I'll show you in a moment, but it also acts as an effect assign. So effects can be brought in the same traditional way of assigning with the orange button and increasing the level depth pot. However, now, without the orange button highlighted, we can also punch in effects at the touch of a fingertip. All post fader as well, so they continue to bleed through once the faders have been brought down. So looking at some of the new effects, one of the 5 new effects we have is a slip roll. Works in a similar way to the roll which was on the previous unit and has been carried over onto the 900 Nexus as well. If I show you the roll, it's a destructive effect. It will sample, and every time you adjust the beat bar parameters, it re-triggers and samples in a smaller increment. So if I assign it, pretty cool effect. But you're hearing the same thing again and again. It's when you adjust the beat bar parameters, it just increases the loop size that it's resampling. Whereas on the slip roll, it does exactly what it says on the tin, and it lets the track play underneath the effect. So when you adjust the beat bar parameters, it resamples from the current point of the track. I'll show you that, it'll be more obvious. You can hear it's a more musical effect. You could continue punching that effect through the whole track, resampling as it goes, and it sounds more musical. The next effect we have is Melodic. Now, Melodic is a sampler-based effect. It basically samples whatever sound is being played when you initiate the effect. So it works well with, as you'd expect, melodic sounds. So harmonic sounds such as cowbells and vocals. If I jump to the middle of my track and assign the effect, now if I increase the level depth all the way to the max, you're hearing what the melodic effect has sampled. It then replays the sample in a rhythmic pattern created by the track that's currently playing. This can also, the pitch can be adjusted using the beat bar parameters, like so. And the speed of which the pattern is being played back can be adjusted with the X-Pad. Now, if you play that with the media that's creating the pattern, it sounds very effective. So some of the best effects from the 800 have also been carried onto the unit. For example, we've got the existing robot, phaser, flanger and filter and transform effects. However, now the effects are easier to access due to the X-Pad. So you'll assign the effects in the same way, but the X-Pad works as an additional LFO control for the phaser and the flanger, for instance. If I demo that, assign the effects, you can hear it's being phased, but then if I drag my finger from right to left on the X pad, you'll see the red bar increase and we get an LFO on that effect. So all the existing effects have also been improved with an additional parameter control just to improve creativity whilst using effects during the mix. Now the reverb was an existing effect from the 800, however on the 900 Nexus it's been completely remodeled, so the reverb's been designed to sound completely different. It now matches up to studio quality reverbs. You've also got the X pad control, which enables us to adjust the filter frequency of the reverb, creating some nice reverb tails. So let me show that to you. So assign the reverb, increase the level depth. Now you can adjust the room size using the beat bar parameters. But now we can also adjust the filter frequency. Left for low pass and right for high pass. And last but not least, out of the new effects, we have the spiral, which is a kind of twisted, warped out tape delay kind of effect. The best way to demo it is to simply show you. So you can access it in the two ways that I mentioned before, either by flashing it on with the X pad or by using the orange assign button. All post fader, so continues to bleed through. So the beat effects section is the more complex effects on the 900 Nexus. Spend a bit of time, figure out how to use them, and you can come up with some cool, destructive and additive effects to be used when you're mixing. We've also got, over on the left hand side of the mixer, the sound colour effects section, which are a bit more straightforward to use. You simply assign your effect, turn the corresponding colour pop on the channel where the music is coming through, and the sound changes. We've got it's a remix section of the effects. So some of the effects have been brought onto the unit from the DJM 800. For instance, we've still got the really popular filter and the crush effects. Obviously high pass and low pass, and again crush. Really for lo-fi destructive distortion and high pass. But we've now got 4 new effects brought onto the unit. So we've got a gate compression section, which gates out the track. Really cool for creating your own breakdowns in a track. You no longer have to adhere to the structure or arrangement that the producers intended for this track. You can create your own breakdowns at any time. We've also got the dub echo, which, as you'd expect, is a dub style echo. Increases as you increase the colour pot, either low pass or high pass. We've got space, which if assigned is a exploding reverb kind of effect. High pass and low pass. And we've also now got the noise generator. Wicked for all styles of electronic and dance music. White noise, really good for building up intensity, building up to a drop on a track. Which is also independent. It's an independent effect that can be used on any of the 4 channels, so you don't have to use it on the channel that the music is coming through, allowing you to adjust the volume independently. So we've got the instant gratification style effects, where someone who may not have used a DJM 800 or 900 before, but they could still step up and get to grips with these effects in a very short space of time. You've also got the more complex effects that require a bit more learning and a bit more experimenting to develop the effects into your mixing style. But it's when they're used together that you can really make the magic happen. You can use combos of both effects to create really sort of destructive sounds, or really make the track into your style and how you want to use it. For instance, if I use the slip roll and then jump into let's say the gate compression, I'm going to punch it in using the X pad. Get the gate ready, then jump to spiral. All post fader as well, so the effect will continue to bleed through until you reduce the level depth. You can also use the transform. Sometimes using delayed effects can cause the track that you're applying the effect to get a bit cluttered and a bit muddy. For instance, if I use the dub echo, it's a really nice effect. But if used with the transform applied to the track, frees up a bit of space in the track. Same with the space. Frees up a bit of space. Transform is also a really cool one to apply to an independent channel with noise coming through. I can't scratch, but I can on this. Looking at the connectivity of the DJM 900, you have a number of inputs and outputs. Obviously, full quality standard Pioneer setup on the back. However, on the new unit we've got a USB connection port at the top, which allows us access for digital vinyl systems. So DJs using like Tractor or Serato, they no longer have to worry about taking their interfaces to clubs now and have the mind-blowing stress of pulling out wires at the back of the mixer while another DJ's mixing and the room's going off. You could simply connect, have your digital vinyl system running, have your Tractor running, and connect your USB cable. Very easy. We've also got a Lan Connection port at the back. This gives the mixer access to the Pro DJ link. So at the moment I'm running a LAN cable into my LAN hub, which is then in turn running into both CDJs and into my laptop with Rekordbox running. This gives all the CDJs full access to any library contained on a memory stick plugged into any one of the CDJs, and full access to any library on Rekordbox laptops. For instance, if I choose 2 songs on my laptop here, throw them onto CDJ 1 and 2, they're instantly there for me to play. Another major benefit of having all the decks linked up via the Pro DJ link is with the Nexus we've now got quantized effects as well. So the BPM information from any track you're playing is sent directly to the beat effects, meaning the effects can never be out of time. For instance, really useful for DJs playing multi-genre style gigs. So anyone playing music that the tracks might not necessarily maintain the same BPM information, like hip hop for instance, tracks flicking from different BPMs all the time. This is really useful effect. Now the last major overhaul of all the features on this mixer, and in my eyes is one of the most useful, is that the 24-bit 96 kHz sound card is now an 8-in 8-out interface. So any DJs using digital vinyl systems no longer have to worry about taking their external interface with them and pulling out cables from behind the mixer whilst another DJ's playing. Number one, getting in the way of the other DJ, and number two, risking pulling out the wrong wire causes major stress. The DJM 900 Nexus has got a USB port right on the top, so front top loaded. Now you can see I've got my tractor set up running with 2 tracks playing on each deck. Now you can see where I haven't connected an interface, it's displaying a no audio sign. All it takes is for the DJ to rock up with their laptop, simply connect to the 900 Nexus with a USB cable like so, and it's that easy. The DJ's laptop will display the Nexus setup utility. If you have a look at this, you can see on the input that the laptop is now reading the Nexus. If I adjust the input settings for each channel, you can see that the laptop is actually reading them. So I'm going to set them all to USB, and then it's literally as simple as that. All them settings can be pre-set up before you go to the club as well. Now if I hit play on my tracks, coming straight through channels 1 and 2 on the Nexus.
Okay, wow. First I'd like to say thank you very much to Rob. So many questions I've got to ask about this. I don't know where to start, if I was being totally honest with you. Got to say I've been absolutely blown away with the new effects. Love that spiral effect. Love that slip roll, and I like the melodic as well. I think that's absolutely class. I think one of the winning features on this is where we can just tap them effects in on this X and Y pad. Well, it's not, it's just an X pad, isn't it? It's not an X and Y pad. Single access, yeah. Forgive me if I blither on, because I've just watched so much stuff now. My mind is full of information that I probably don't understand. So I might have a few questions for you. So when we've got all this linked up with the Ethernet cables, so we've got an Ethernet cable coming out of here and going into a hub, out of here to a hub, out of here into a hub, yeah?
Yeah, and also from the laptop into the hub.
Down to the hub as well. Just talk about the tractor thing while I've got the tractor on now. So if I was to turn up at the club, I can just come in with my laptop, whack this into here. I'm not going to need one of them sound cards or boxes or anything like that. It's just instantly, I'm in to the top, and I've got sound from deck 1, deck 2. If I was doing a 4-deck routine, I can assign everyone.
4 channels, yeah, you can fully assign it.
And utilise these effects on here as well at the same time. Brilliant. Yeah, I like that idea. I think that's absolutely, again, you know, I've done that where you had to turn up and start unwiring things. It's not a good place to be. I don't think DJs really should ever be allowed behind here. Once it's set up in a club, it shouldn't be touched.
It's better for the engineers.
It's better for everybody. I mean, and I've known where I've had literally had phone calls to my mobile phone in the middle of the night going, someone's been on here and taken something out and we don't know how to put it back on. Yeah. Because you'll get a DJ and then he'll take all his sound cards out and then pull a plug out, and then it's a disaster for the next guy coming in because he's like, he doesn't know what he's done. So this must just rule out so many nightmare scenarios. So I love that idea. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
So all that hassle is immediately cut out. Plug and play, instant access.
Job done. Brilliant. Other things, when we were on Record Box there, so we can play music from Record Box straight onto here. Yeah. So we have this linked in via the hub, so I can find a track and drop it onto that deck or onto that deck and play it, because these are all connected. Correct?
Yeah, you can in two ways. You can either drag and drop from the Record Box library onto the the display of each deck, or you can use the DJ Link buttons on the CDJs to browse through any device that's connected.
Any device that's connected. So I can, with these linked, have that USB stick in there, and I can browse that USB stick.
Yeah.
And then I can come over here and I can browse what's on your Record Box.
Yeah, man. It creates access to, well, 4 CDJs and 2 laptops can all be connected through the Pro DJ Link, so you can gain access to all them libraries through any one of the CDJs.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Got to say, I have been blown away with this piece of kit. There will be a link in the description of the video going through to our page on the website, telling you all about it as soon as one of these is released, because actually, you know, if you're going to watch this video in the next few days, this isn't even out yet. This is new. Yeah. You know, so this is a bit of an exclusive here. It's the first time we've seen it. We will be taking stock very, very shortly. As soon as that comes out, you can come down the shop. We're going to have one of these on demo. So when it's released, come down to the shop. You want to have a play on it. You know, more than welcome. You know what it's like here at Phase One. It's very hands-on. We tend to make it up as we go along. I'm going to say thanks very much to Rob again. He's come all the way up from London. He thought he was actually going from Manchester today. He left Manchester to come to Darlington, and as you know, we're up in the northeast of England. He thought he was heading down country, and he's only realised he's driving away from home. So we're going to get him in his car and we're going to turn him back and we're going to point him back down towards the south. So he's on his way back down there, don't worry. Thanks very much for coming down, mate. Pleasure. Absolutely fantastic bit of kit. I hope we can get to do some other videos at other times. It's always great to have the product expert. I do a lot of videos and it's never easy, you know, so this video has not been rehearsed. It's not perfect. We don't expect it to be perfect. We bamble our way through these things, and you know what? It keeps it real. Okay, cool. Guys, that's Rob. It's Mike, Phase One DJ Store. Thank you very much. Oh, and that was the Nexus 900. I was going to say 9000. It's not.
Nexus 900. DJM 900 Nexus.
That's the one.
Yeah.
We won't cut that out. Cheers.